Just settle in with both feet flat on the floor, shoulders aligned with the hips, and just imagine your spine is lengthening. And then go to the crown of the head and release any tension there and relax the scalp and the forehead, and the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, back of the tongue, and the jaw, temples, back of the head. And just allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. So you know whatever's going on in the world, because there's all kinds of protests going on here in the US as well. You can always come back to your practice, ground yourself through your practice. And then be aware of your breath sensations as you inhale and exhale. And be aware of sound in your environment, just allowing the sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And then just check out what's going on in your mind this evening. And then bring to mind all the people of your life, your loved ones, your strangers, and the ones you don't like, knowing that they're, these relationships are interchangeable and they're all equal. In that they don't want to suffer and they want to be happy, and they all have this extraordinary capacity for a Buddha mind. So we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. I'm thinking of all the people in Nepal, all the people in the hotels, all the staff who are working in the hotels, everybody involved in tourism, all the shops, all the people that rely on us, tourists that come into the country and spend our money. So, just making prayers for this whole situation just to calm down. And we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with this power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives, and think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions, and having harmed others. We ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify. So we're not needing Buddha Vajrasattva to be forgiving us. We're not looking for a higher power, something to believe in, We're just using the methods that Vajrasattva is giving us to heal ourselves, to heal our delusions, purify them. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I am enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering for them in the future. So you make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings and think, I must purify for their sake. And then we come to the power of remedy. And this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anurakta meboa, sabasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita, jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dinapatita jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And the next is the purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva now very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And imagine, all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and lying, talking about people behind their backs, all our inappropriate speech. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you, sort of up and out. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Membi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Membi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same, you imagine the light from Vajrasattva's heart chakra comes and hits your heart. And just as instantaneously as when you walk into a dark room and flick on a switch, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled by this light. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahompe. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Drida meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mempiyata sawa kamasita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are now completely purified. And now think there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprint of negative energy from your consciousness. So the nectar flows down and pushes out all the negativity of the body. The nectar flows up, pushing out all the negativity of the speech. And then the light comes and just blasts all the delusions. And in this way, you've completely eradicated even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your continuum. Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe, Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya, Vajrasappa Dina Patita, Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anorakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mempiyata Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasappa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappa Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta me boa savasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe ambhadra safa samaya manupalaya vajra safa dina patita Jida meboa, Situkaya meboa, Sipokaya meboa, Anurakta meboa, Sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth and final step in the purification process, and it's a really crucial one. And this is this determination to not harm with our body and our speech and our mind. And without this, we're just going to keep doing the same old things over and over again without this determination, without making a decision. So just decide. This aspiration to refrain from harming becomes like a beacon that guides your body and your speech and your mind in new directions. So now just remember, everything exists on the tip of the wish, the aspiration. So rejoice in your efforts for coming along tonight. It's fantastic. And then also think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow evening. And now imagine Vajrasattva's really delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind. And so imagine Vajrasattva sort of melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Lama Zopa Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So he would say like this: in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. And you can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do our chanting the names of Manjushri. And the Dharma conch emitting piercing sound, the Dharma gong with lasting resonance, arriving at unbounded liberation, he is the Dharma drum in all directions. Without a form, with handsome form, supreme, replete with forms diverse, comprised of mind, with splendor shining through his every form, with all reflections under his control, invincible, renowned as Lord Supreme, the Lord Supreme who rules the threefold world, abiding on the noble's lofty path, great source of flourishing, the Dharma's crown. Okay, so again, let's have a really strong wish for all those people in Nepal to stay safe. And we make a strong wish that the trekking season will continue as normal, just with this sort of disruption here at the beginning of September. And then all of you have a strong wish for His Holiness to live long, for Lama Zopa Rinpoche at some point to be returned to us, and then for all of your own individual teachers. Okay, everyone. Lots of love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Thanks for hosting, you guys. All right, bye-bye.